Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, still cold, still inside. I was thinking, people have asked me about, recently about what do you do with the bikes that you have? I finally took a final count of how many bikes that have I had in the house. It's like 48 bikes, two scooters, and one mobility scooter. Yeah, that's what I've reviewed. But I've turned down a lot more than that. Yeah, I think the number now hits about 155, 156 e-bikes, not e-bike companies, I'm sorry. 156 e-bike companies I've turned down. Yeah, not bikes. I think if you went individual bikes, it might be even higher than that. So yeah, there's a lot of e-bike companies out there. Well, anyway, people have asked me, what do you do with those bikes? Do you sell them? You have to sell them. Where are you going to put 48 bikes, two scooters, and a mobility scooter? Yeah, I've sold off more than I've kept. In the house currently right now is 20 of the e-bikes of the 48. So what does that mean? 28 bikes were sold already. One scooter was given away to my nephew. And then the mobility scooter was also sold too. So yeah, so right now in the house, 20 e-bikes, one scooter, okay? And sometimes the manufacturers have said, can you do a review of this? And some of them I look at this stuff and I go, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing it, but it's code, man. I can't do it now. So I don't know. I mean, business has to continue on. They don't stop for anything, but so I just respond back to them and say, hey, I wouldn't mind doing it, but right now it's too cold for us to go out. And I says, if you can wait until late spring, I would be able to do it. Now, whether they contact me again is another story. Some people who I've actually said that to put a little note in their calendar thing, and it reminds them, then they contact you back. Yeah. So, I'm sorry to the companies that, I've responded to. I just can't do it right now, right? So what do I do with all these bikes? People have asked me, how do you sell the bikes off? Well, yeah, I don't use Facebook Marketplace and things like that. What I usually do is I just mention it here on the Russ is Right channel, and then I tell you to go to russisright.com. Okay, if you go to the russisright.com site, there's a link there that you can redirect to russisright.blogspot.com. The reason I use this blogspot thing, it's easier for me to configure rather than have to redo something on a web page. It's basically a blog page then, so I can change things real quickly, add things, subtract things, add bikes to it, subtract bikes to it, and all of my accessories that I recommend to people are sitting there too. So just go to russisright.com and you'll find it. Okay, so I put some bikes up there, and they've been sitting there for a while and they're at good prices, but I said, you have to come and get them. So which means the people who are considering these bikes live in the Midwest area too, and they're freezing cold. They're not going to come out to get a bike now, right? So if you see a bike there that you like and you're interested, let me know, okay? Even if you may not be able to pick it up right away, at least I have an interested party and I can let you know if somebody else is interested or whatever, and then you can make decisions whether you want to move forward with it or not. So anyway, I think there's 2 e-bikes on there now. There's more coming. I can't keep them all in the house. In fact, we've overflowed at this point. It's sitting in the living room, dining room, family room, the downstairs bedroom, which I use as an office, and then also the garage. So they will be coming and be put on there. So some of the bikes I try to make some decisions. Do I really want to sell it or should I keep it? Now, here's the reason I'm talking about it right now, okay? With the whole thing with this regulation stuff coming down with the Class 3 and everything, I kept thinking, if they eliminate Class 3 in our area, do I want to sell off all the bikes? Because most of them will do 28 miles an hour, right? And I kept thinking, if the manufacturers decide, okay, we can't even make Class 3 bikes anymore, it's just not worth it, we're just going to make Class 2 bikes, then you're limited to 20. Okay. Now here's the problem we have with this now. Let's say you keep the Class 3 bike, or the ones that you can unlock to turn it into a Class 3. Let's say you keep them, and because they're not making them anymore. I'm just hypothesis here now. Okay, it's not happening yet, but these older bikes actually will go faster than the newer bikes then, if that's the case, if they cut out class 3. So are those bikes going to be more desirable? I don't know. They might. Yeah. People would ask me about, well, what about the wired bike? That thing you unlock does 40 miles an hour. That's way out of control. Yeah, that bike's not being sold. All right, don't even ask me for it. I'm going to hang on to that thing. Now, the only way I would sell that wired cruiser is if Wired gave me another one. Maybe they have an updated version of it for 2025. I don't know. If they offer one to me to update with so I can to ride it and show you guys, then, of course, then that cruiser bike might be available. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to hang on to it. And then I kind of thought about all the other bikes. I says, I have a lot of 20-inch wheel bikes in here, but I only have like maybe 4 of the 26-inch wheel bikes as far as fat tire, 4-inch fat tire bikes. So I said, if I give away all my other bikes, I don't have any fat tire 26-inch bikes left. Do I really want to give them away? Sell them, that is. I do have some bigger tire commuter style bikes, that I could ride that have bigger wheels on them. But as far as 4-inch fat tire bikes, there's only 4 of them. It sounds like only. But considering how many fat tire bikes have come through the house, I'm thinking, do I really want to sell them off? Yeah. See the problem, and you get attached to these things too. I really do. I really feel kind of bad when the bikes go away. I was like, oh, I sold off that bike, But you have to. You can't keep them all, and then you figure, okay, of what's here, which one has to go? All right, which one should we move on? And then maybe the next bike coming in is not as good as that previous bike. Then you kind of like have the regret, right? It's like, oh, I shouldn't have sold that or that. I've had regrets where I've sold some bikes off and said, oh, I should have kept that thing. Yeah. So yeah, I even let go some of my magicycle bikes. You know how I am with the magicycles, and I let go of several models. I let go of the magicycle cruiser, my number 1 bike. It's a long story on that one, but the person who has that now knows the story and why he got that. Okay. Yeah, his wife also has the Hauchi Camel bike, which is the cargo bike, right? So anyway, I kind of look at these things and go, yeah, I kind of regret selling that one. I kind of regret selling this one. So, but the magicycles, yeah, I had to move them on. Like the Oslot Pro got moved on because we now have the Oslot Pro 2.0, right? The Deer 20 got moved on, but we have the Deer 20 2.0. So as the new models come out, you move them on. Now I had the Deer 26-inch up there for sale. Yeah, I'm going to hang on to that for a while. I had it up there. Nobody took it. Okay, even though it was a good price on it, nobody took it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to hang on to it. I'll move another bike out instead. Yeah, I think I have the Free Deer Eden sitting up there now. Yeah, that's a good bike. In fact, I want to keep that one too. It's one of the few 26-inch, 4-inch fat tire bikes I got, and it has good features on it, But I'm just running out of space. So I said, should I move it on? Should I not? So I'm going to move it on. Yeah, I feel bad because it's the only Free Deer bike I have, and I really like the bike, but some things have to go for other things coming in. And, there are new models coming from the manufacturers I'm currently working with already. And so knowing that they're coming eventually, I said, I can't keep them all. Things have to go. So, yeah, one by one, these bikes move on, but I feel bad. I really do. I feel really bad when they go. But, I just hope it goes to somebody who really appreciates it and can ride it well and stay safe on it, right? I usually, when people ask me, when they're interested in the bikes and they ask me about them, I'll ask you questions, how tall are you? What's your weight? How experienced are you? I just want to make sure that the person who buys the bike is safe on the bike and that they understand how to use it properly. Yeah. So anyways, it's just the way it is. So new bikes coming for 2025. I'm still a little worried about what will be coming out in 2025, because a lot of these changes are happening, and the manufacturers, they design these bikes in advance. They plan for what's going to be coming out, and then things change. Regulations change here in the United States. Do they now just scrap everything and then, scramble to try to change their specifications to match that now? And then we're talking about tariffs and everything going on. I mean, do they have to recalculate their pricing structures as they come through? And these are the uncertainties that we have for 2025. And so I'm not really sure what's going to happen. And I'm sure the manufacturers are kind of a little worried about it all too. So here's my suggestion to you. If you have a bike right now and you like it, hang on to it for a while, all right? Hang on to it, see what happens. But again, if they change this whole thing with the 28 miles per hour, if you hang on to it, is it still legal? I don't know whether they can just tell everybody that has the product. I mean, think about how much product is out there. Oh, all your bikes are no longer legal. I mean, can they do that? I mean, you paid good money for it. We heard stories about Surron, dropping down to 20 miles per hour. Well, who's going to pay that kind of money for something like that for 20 miles per hour? All right. I mean, the whole thing about their bike is the speed and the design and all that. If they drop down to 20 miles per hour, is anyone even going to buy this stuff anymore? And they're being sued, as we know. Some lady's suing Surron for selling her a bike because she's giving it to a 12 or 13-year-old kid. She should have done some research before she went and bought that kind of bike for a kid. She says, that they sold her an illegal bike. Well, hey, probably was legal for anyone that was older than that, but I don't know if that's Surron's problem. I think that would be her problem. But anyways, regardless, the whole point is there's a lot of changes happening in 2025 we got to keep an eye on. So, all right, anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know what your thoughts are on these things as far as, the bikes and everything. So hit the subscribe button too if you haven't already done so. And go to the More From Russ channel. Check that out, because a lot of the other stuff that you typically had heard in the past, me talking about, things going on, it's over at that channel now. Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys next time.